Hello everyone. This is chapter number 4, GSM in mobile communication. GSM stand for Global System for Mobile Communication. Our today's topic is GSM frame structure. First of all, we are going to see generation of GSM frame, and then we will see the actual frame structure. This is figure for frame generation using FDMA and TDMA multiple axis. Figure 1 shows the situation in a mobile phone network based on GSM standard for 900 MHz. As we know, the basic frequency allocation scheme for GSM is fixed and regulated by national authorities. So, all the uplinks use the band between 890.2 and 915 MHz, and all the downlink use the 935.2 to 960 MHz. So in this one, some guard space is also used. According to FDMA, the base station shown in a right side allocate a certain frequency for uplink and downlink to establish a duplex channel with a mobile phone. All the uplinks and downlinks have a fixed relation. These are synchronized with each other. It means if the uplink frequency is 890 MHz plus zero point 0.2 into small n MHz, then the downlink frequency becomes uplink frequency plus 45 MHz. That is, downlink frequency is equal to 935 MHz plus zero point 0.2 multiply with a small n. Here small n is a certain one channel. In this way, the uplink and downlink frequencies are decided. If we know the uplink frequency, then we can directly count the downlink frequency for the same channel. The base station select the channel. Each channel, it may be uplink or downlink, has a bandwidth of 200 kHz. So this illustrates the use of FDMA for the multiple axis, and the total band, whether it uplink or downlink, it is divided into 124 channels per direction and available at 900 MHz. The duplex according to the predetermined scheme is takes place. Second one figure shows the use of TDMA. This figure shows how these fixed TDMA patterns are used to implement multiple axes and a duplex channel between the base station and mobile station. Assigning the different time slot for uplink and downlink using the same frequency is called as a time division duplex. In this way, the both multiple axis technique, that is the FDMA and TDMA, is used for generation of GSM frame, and in this way the GSM frame is generated. So next one point is the GSM frame structure. This is the figure for GSM frame structure. You can see the uplink frequency band and downlink frequency band, and here both the FDMA and TDMA used to generate the GSM frame. And after the GSM frame structure, there are total 124 uplink channels and 124 downlink channels are there in a GSM frame. Each of these 248 channels is additionally separated in a time via GSM TDMA frame. That is, each 200 kHz carrier is subdivided into the frames that is repeated continuously. That means each channel is of the 200 kHz carrier, and in this way there are total 124 uplink channel and 124 downlink channel. Now consider the single one frame, GSM frame. If we consider the single one GSM TDMA frame, it the duration of this frame is a 4.615 milliseconds. Now this frame again contain the different time slots. A frame is again subdivided into total 8 GSM time slot, where each slot is represent a physical TDMA channel and lasts for 577 microseconds. So each time slot is of the 577 microseconds. Each TDM channel occupies the 200 kHz carrier for 500 microseconds for every 4.615 milliseconds frame. Now in this one, out of the 577 microsecond, only 546.5 microsecond contain the actual one frame, and remaining part is used as a guard space. So first and last three bits from this one normal one brush is used as a tail bits, and all these first three and last three bits used are set all set to the 0 and can be used to enhance the receiver's performance. The training sequence in the middle of the time slot is used to adapt the parameter of the receiver to current path propagation characteristics and to select the strongest one signal in case of the multipath propagation. Next one, a flag yes indicates whether the data field contains the user data or network control data. So this is the contents included in a one time slot of the GSM, and remaining one the user data. This user data consists of the two user data of the 557 bits which contain the actual users data. There are total 4. Each frame contains the 8 time slot, and each time slots contain the different bits. First and last 3 bits are used as tail bits. 8.25 bits are used as guard spirit. 57 and 57 data bits. One flag bit at the starting of the mid-amble and one flag bit at the ending of the mid-amble, and mid-amble or training sequences of the 26 bits. This is the next slide. It contains GSM frame hierarchy. This GSM frame hierarchy is formed by grouping the single one frame. Each normal speech frame grouped together into the larger structure called multi-frame. These multi-frames, which in turn are grouped into super-frames and then into the hyper-frames. One multi-frame contains the 26 TDMA frames and one super-frame contains the 51 multi-frames or 1326 TDMA frames. A hyperframe contains 2048 superframes or 2,71,648 TDMA frames. A complete hyperframe is sent about every 3 hours, 28 minutes and 54 seconds, and it is important to GSM since the encryption algorithm rely on a particular frame number, and sufficient security can only be obtained by using a large number of frames as provided by hyperframe. Now next one point is the GSM identifiers. There are number of identifiers used to identify mobile phone in GSM, but here are some four mainly used GSM identifiers are there. We are going to see one by one. First one, mobile station international ISDN number, that is MSISDN number. This one is the only important number for mobile user of GSM is a mobile phone number. Remember that phone number is not associated with a certain device, but it is associated with a SIM, which is personalized for a user. The standard used for the number contain CC, that is a country code, then NDC, national destination code, which is the address of network service provider, and SN, subscriber number. So by grouping these three codes, we can form the one mobile phone MSISDN number. For example, here the example is a plus 49 179 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. In this one number, plus 49 is a country code, 179 is a network NDC, and remaining digits 1 to 7 are the subscriber number. So this is the first GSM identifier. Next one GSM identifier is a International Mobile Subscriber Identity, IMSI. This number is used to uniquely identify the MS mobile station internally. This number is of the 15-digit number. It is the property of network service provider and not known to the user. The standard used for this number contain MCC, that is the mobile country code, MNC, that is the mobile network code, and MSIN, mobile subscriber identity number. Next GSM identifies the temporary mobile subscriber identity, TMSI. This identifier is used as a local subscriber identity of user. It is basically used to hide the International Mobile Subscriber Identity, IMSI. It is temporary number created at the time of roaming by the serving VLR in which mobile is currently present. It is a 32-bit number assigned by VLR to uniquely identify the mobile station within VLR areas. Temporary Mobile Subscriber Identity, TMSI, can be changed by VLR and used for users' security. And last one, Mobile Station Roaming Number, MSRN. This is another one temporary address that hides the identity and location of subscriber. The VLR generates this address on request from MSC, and the address is also stored in a HLR. It is used to identify the current location of mobile station. Temporary identity given to this mobile subscriber when it changes the location. The standard used for number contain VCC, visitor country code, VNDC, visitor national destination code, which is the address of network service provider, VSN, visitor subscriber number. Now next point is a GSM mobile communication channels. This is the chart. GSM communication channels. Figure shows the distribution of different GSM channels depend on its operation. In telecommunication, a channel refers either to physical transmission such as wire or to a logical connection over a multiplexed media, such as radio channel. GSM uses the various channels to carry user data and information. The channel used in air interface is divided into the two types, physical and logical channels. Physical channel is a medium over which the information is carried. It is a specific time slot in a specific channel used for communication and determined by time slot. There are again two types of the GSM logical channels called traffic channel TCH and control channels CCH. Control channels are also called as a signaling channel. The traffic channels TCH, TCH are digitally encoded user speech or user data and have identical function and format on both forward and reverse link. Control channels CCH carry the signaling and synchronizing commands between mobile station and base station. So we go for the first traffic channels, GSM traffic channels. These channels may be either full or half rate and may carry either digital speech or user data. When transmitted as a full rate traffic channel, user data is contained within a one time slot per frame. When transmitted as a half rate traffic channel, user data is mapped into same time slot but is sent in a alternate frames. That is a one two half rate channels users would share the same time slot but would alternately transmit during every other frame. There are mainly two types of the traffic channels, half rate and full rate channels. So half rate channels provides this transmission speed as follow. That is a speech speech using the full rate traffic channels is of the transmission speed 13 kbps for raw data transmission and 22.8 kbps for digitalized data transmission. Data transmission contain the transmission speed 9.6 kbps, 4.8 kbps and 2.4 kbps. Speech quality of data carried by full rate traffic channel is improved by using enhanced full rate speech coder. Half rate traffic channel. Depending on this one type of the data carried by traffic channel, it provides the transmission rate which is 6.5 kbps raw data transmission of speech signal and 11.4 kbps data transmission speed for digitalized speech rate. The data transmission consists of the transmission speed 4.8 kbps and 2.4 kbps. Next one is a control channels or signaling channels. The many different control channels are used in GSM system to control the media access, allocation of traffic channels or mobility management. There are three groups of the control channels have been defined, each again subdivided into the different channels. We go one by one. First, common control channels CCCH. These are again divided into three sub-channels: paging channel, access grant channel and random access channel. Dedicated control channel again divided into the four types: standalone channel, associated channel, fast and slow associated channel. Broadcast channels divided into the four types: synchronized channel, frequency correlation channel, broadcast channel and cell broadcast channel. First we go for the common control channel. which is divided into three types: paging channel, access grant channel, random access channel. They are used to establish the connection between mobile station and base BTS. All information regarding the connection setup between the MS and BS is exchanged with the help of common control channel. First one, paging channel PCH. For call toward an MS, the BTS use the paging channel for paging the appropriate mobile station. This channel provides paging signal from base station to all mobile stations in a cell and notify the specific mobile of an incoming call which originate from PSTN. This is downlink channel. Here downlink channels shows with the help of downlink arrow. The network using the paging channel to send the paging information to desired mobile station. The paging information is used to terminate the call process to complete the call. Second channel, access grant channel, which include in a common control channel. The BTS uses the access grant channel to signal an MS that it can use a traffic channel or standalone control channel for further connection setup. Access granted channel used by base station to provide forward link communication to mobile station and carries the data which instruct the mobile to operate in a particular physical channel. It is used to establish the connection with desired mobile station for the communication. It is necessary to allocate the radio link between mobile station and BTS. BTS allocate the radio link for communication by using this channel. It sends the signal through AGCH channel to MS about the allocation of radio link to assign the data channel, either traffic channel or standalone dedicated control channel to set up the connection. And last one, common control channel is a random access channel. So in random access channel, if an mobile station wants to set up a call, it uses the random access control channel to send the data to BTS. It is used by mobile station to set up a call, that is initially access the network and to send the data to BTS. All mobile station in a cell may access this channel by using a slotted ALOHA for multiple access. Second type of the control channel is a dedicated control channel. These are bidirectional channel. The rectangle shows the bidirectional communication, downlink as well as uplink communication. So these are the bidirectional channels, and network allows the specific mobile station to dedicatedly use the channel for specific use. These dedicated control channels again divided into the three types. Standalone control channel. These channels are used only to send the control signals and SMS. It carries the information required for user authentication, service request, and validation of equipment. This information is used to set up call by assigning the traffic channel. Second type is a slow associated dedicated control channel. It always associated with a traffic channel or standalone dedicated control channel and map onto same physical channel. When traffic channel associated with a slow associated control channel, the traffic carries user data and the slow associated control channel carries the signaling data. Next type of the dedicated control channel is a fast associated dedicated control channel. It is used to send time critical signaling by using a time slot of traffic channel which is required to establish cell in a program, subscriber authentication, or in handoffs. In such cases, there is a need to transfer the large amount of information in less time in between mobile station and BTS. And last one type of the control channel is a broadcast control channel, BCCH. These are again divided into the four types. In dedicated control channel, fast associated and slow associated, combinedly called as associated dedicated control channel. Now next one, broadcast control channel, which is of the four types: synchronization channel, frequency correlation channel, broadcast control channel, or cell broadcast control channel. The BTS use this channel to signal information to all mobile stations within a cell. Information transmitted in this channel is, for example, the cell identifier, option available with this cell, that is a frequency hopping, and frequency available inside a cell and in neighboring cell. The BTS send this information for frequency correction with the help of frequency correction channel. And this information about time synchronization is sent with the help of synchronization channel, where both channels are sub channels of the broadcaster channel or cell broadcaster channel. So here all these GSM communication channels. Now next point is the handoff in a GSM. The handoff in GSM is of these four types: intracell, intercell or intra-BSC, inter-BSC or intra-MSC, and last one, inter-MSC handoff. In cellular system, the process of transferring a mobile station from one channel or base station to other is called as a handoff. Handoff is also called as handover. It means that when a mobile moves into the different cell while conversation is in process, MSC automatically transfer the call to new channel belonging to the new base station. So depend on the mobile station coverage area and its movement. There are basically four types of the GSM handoffs. In figure, there are four scenarios of the four different cells. The one scenario, consider the first one scenario, which is represented with a 1. Here the dotted arrow is in the same cell. That is a mobile station moving from this cell to the same cell. Such type of the movement or moving, transferring of the mobile station channel from one mobile station, one channel to another one channel in a same cell is called as intracell handoff. That is within a cell, narrowband interference could make the transmission at a certain frequency impossible. So there is a requirement of the change in a channel. BSC could decide to change the channel from one channel to another one channel in same cell. Such type of the handoff is called as an intracell handoff. This second one scenario is an intra-BSC or intercell handoff. This is a typical type of the handoff scenario. The mobile station moves from one cell to another one cell, but stay in a one control of the same BSC. The BSC then perform the handoff assigned by assigning a new radio channel in a new cell and release the older one cell channel. Such type of the handoff is called as inter-cell or intra-BSC handoff. Third one type of the handoff in GSM is the inter-BSC or intra-MSC handoff. The number 3 represent the third one scenario. As a BSC only controls a limited number of cells, GSM also has a perform handoffs between cells controlled by different BSCs. This handoff then has to be controlled by MSC. This situation is shown in this third one scenario. So the one mobile station moves from one cell to another one cell, and these two cells contain the different BSCs, but these are operating on a same MSC. Such type of the handoff is called as inter-BSC or intra-MSC handoff. And last one is inter-MSC handoff. A handoff could be required between two cells belonging into the two different MSCs. Now both MSC perform the handover together.